Every live lesson you come to is going to have an essential question which tells you what you're going to be learning for the day in general. In addition, more specific objectives will be discussed before the live lesson begins, and the objectives just tell you what you need to have learned by the end of the live lesson. Statistics really is about understanding the world around you in a brand new way that no other mathematics you've learned up to this point can really do. So, statistics is going to focus, at least our live lessons, on real world, well, maybe in this example, not so real world examples of using statistics to describe and to make predictions about events and situations in your world. Let's take a look. Ask a question. Who are faster flying dragons, male barbarians or female barbarians, and why? What do y'all say? So it probably does have a little bit more to do with the dragons themselves. And one way we're going to explore the data, actually we're going to explore the data in multiple ways, but one way is to use technology to create a graph of the data and to create a summary of the data. Now you're going to see a calculator screen show up and it's going to show you some information you really don't need to know right now. But the big idea I want you to take away from this is that you're going to be using technology to help you explore data and to better understand data sets. In addition to using technology, you'll also be creating graphical displays by hand to help you better understand the data sets. You might remember way back to 7th grade, 8th grade, 6th grade, somewhere around there when you created dot plots. You're going to be doing that again in statistics because it's a great way to visualize the data. And I bet you could even answer this question since this was an introductory live lesson to creating graphical displays inside of AP Statistics. You might remember from those grades how to create the dot plot and how to find the center, or in this case, the median of the data set. You can see from this live lesson that there will be many opportunities to discuss the questions that are being asked inside of the live lesson screen. And sometimes that'll be done inside the chat pod as you see the responses appearing in there. They're just typing out their responses and conversing with each other, having a little bit of fun too, which is great. And sometimes you'll also, if you look right above the chat pod, you'll see a little pod. We call them pods, each little separated rectangle is a Q&A pod, and there's a line where the students can see that they can click on to provide answers to the teacher only, so the teacher is able to see the individual responses and then reply back to them. I use the Q&A pod and the chat pod frequently throughout the live lessons to provide feedback, provide opportunities for students to practice problems, and to provide opportunities for students to talk and work through the problems together inside of the class. At the end of every live lesson, there'll be an exit ticket where you'll be given an opportunity to demonstrate your mastery of the day's objectives. And the exit tickets will be asked in a variety of formats. Sometimes you'll be asked to reply in the chat pod, sometimes in the Q&A pod. Sometimes there'll be a link to where you can supply your answers through a form or like a little quiz. The exit tickets usually aren't for a grade inside of AP Statistics. What I use them for is a view to see how well the students are doing inside of the class material and to see whether or not we need to go over any additional information during the next time's live lesson. I hope you enjoyed this little introduction to the AP Statistics Live Lessons formatting. If you have any questions, please feel free to reach out to me, and I look forward to seeing you in class soon.